Hello everybody, hey, hi, how you doing? Jay McCain here, coming to you with my extra week coffee for a little coffee from TCAP. Today we're going back to Georgia, Fortson, Georgia. So consider liking and subscribing, and let's get to the good stuff, shall we?
All right, Amanda.
Okay.
Tractor trailer coming down the road. Get ready.
You can probably guess what this next suspected sex predator does for a living.
All right, he's here. Let him turn off the engine. He won't be able to hear anything
Lawyer?
until he cuts the
Architect.
engine. Let's let him get down.
He's a 41-year-old truck driver from Fayetteville,
Oh, he's a trucker.
Georgia, Joseph Myrick. He thinks a 15-year-old girl is inside, ready to have sex with him.
Hey, you made it. Come on in, I'm just getting some laundry out.
His screen name is too graphic to use, but in his chat, he asks the decoy, when it comes to sex, are there any positions?
What was it? What was it? Happy Memorial Day to you as well, BM Aaron. Thank you for the Steam gift. I did receive that and plan to play it this evening on my Twitch stream.
You like best. The person pretending to be the 15-year-old says, I only did the one. Then he says, well, we'll try others. When the decoy says it's awesome that he's bringing the big truck, he says, well, I do not want your mom finding out because it would mess up a good thing.
It's funny that the decoy screen name is Midnight Rida Girl, and he's a trucker. They're a match made in heaven.
That's a big truck you got. How do you drive that thing?
Well, to be honest with you, it's like driving a car.
Well, I would love to go for a ride sometime.
Well, I'd love to take you.
Where exactly were you going to take her in that truck of yours?
I was just going to take her around, just see certain places, talk to her.
Like where?
This guy is absolutely like Boomhauer from King of the Hill. I cannot understand a word he's saying, so I'm gonna move my cam so we can see the.
I was just going to take her around, see certain places, talk to her.
Like where?
She just want to go for a ride. I'll take her for a ride. I mean, nothing. I ain't mean no harm.
I'm just gonna take her some daggone places.
Trying to do nothing I shouldn't be doing. Trying to, be no idiot and no pervert or nothing.
That's what he
Oh,
says
this guy's
now.
got a.
What about what he
This guy's got a NASCAR hat too. Who was number
said
8?
to her online?
You say, well, I do think you're damn
NASCAR
sexy,
number
and was wanting to know if you have ever had sex.
Oh, Dale Jr.?
I have it all right here, so you might as well just tell me right now.
I ain't disputing it.
Who was 3 then? Was Dale Senior 3?
I think you probably have a very nice ass as well.
I just fell into the conversation. I ain't gonna sit here and tell me no excuse for the things I said because I fell into the conversation. It was totally, it was wrong. And
You say, yeah, I'll be your bear, and we bears like tasting honey.
when you read it back to me like that right there, I realizing what I said. No,
Alright, I gotta go back because there was some good stuff there, and I was distracted Googling NASCAR numbers.
Right now.
I ain't disputing it. No,
Yeah.
I ain't disputing it. I'm just damn.
I think you probably have a very nice ass as well.
I just fell into the conversation. I ain't gonna sit here and tell me no excuse for the things I said because I fell into the conversation. It was totally, it was wrong. And
You say, yeah, I'll be your bear, and we bears like tasting honey.
when you read it back.
Wait, I thought truckers hated bears. There's a whole movie about this.
To me like that right there, I realizing what I said. No, you're right.
What do you think would have happened if I wasn't here? And in fact, a 15-year-old girl was here.
I told myself I get in here to sit and just talk to her.
You just said you were going to take her for a ride in the truck.
If she wanted to go, man.
I honestly cannot believe that Chris Hansen is able to have a conversation and understand what the hell he's saying. Because I cannot. I simply cannot. If those subtitles were not here, I would be at a loss.
How do you think a girl's father would feel if a 40-year-old man took a 15-year-old girl for a ride in a truck?
He'd be upset, right?
And he'd be justified, wouldn't he?
Oh, yes, he would.
You own that rig yourself?
No, sir.
So you work for a company that owns that rig.
Yes, sir.
And how do you think they'd take to the fact you're out driving that rig around going to meet a 15-year-old girl?
Is Chris Hansen trying to code switch here? How do you think they would take to them, you being out there driving?
I think they'd take to the fact you're out driving that rig around.
Driving that rig around. I'm a down-home fella. How do you think they would take to you driving that rig around?
And how do you think they'd take to the fact you're out driving that rig around going to meet a 15-year-old girl?
Well, they was looking on it as in a bad note, looking at
A bad note.
like the way it actually looks.
You know what's wrong?
What the fuck is this guy saying? I'm sorry, I try not to swear in my videos when I can avoid it.
Wrong. It was foolish.
It was the wrong thing to do, and it won't happen again. I know you got a job to do, and I see it all the time. And
You see what all the time?
on news reports.
You've seen stories on television news about guys coming over to meet underage kids.
Yes, sir. But
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults
yes, sir.
who try to meet young teens on the internet. If there's anything else you'd like to tell us, we're happy to hear it, and if not, you're obviously welcome to walk out the door you came in.
I told myself on the way down here, just talk to her, and just stay away from the sexual overtones.
The 41.
Aaron, now, do these guys ever try to just not talk, or do they just not show that? They do. Those tend to be like the most boring segments, but some guys totally shut down. But typically, Chris Hansen's pretty good at cracking that egg.
1-year-old leaves the house, and you know what happens next.
Get on the ground, now! All the way down, all the way down. Yes, sir.
Turns out this isn't Myrick's first time in handcuffs.
Stand up on your knees.
Yes, sir.
This individual, Joseph Myrick, he's had 11 prior arrests.
11
11 prior arrests.
Damn,
it
dude.
could range from possession of drugs to simple battery to theft. Pretty good little record that we have on him. Started as early as 1983.
He was never convicted on the
This guy's a hard-living, hard-fighting, tough-as-nails son of a gun, isn't he?
battery or theft charges, but in the 1990s, he was convicted of 6 misdemeanors and 1 felony drug charge. After Myrick's arrest, his truck is searched.
Cocaine.
Where
Cocaine.
detectives find cocaine.
I love that guy.
Myrick is then brought in for questioning, where he appears to admit what he's done is wrong.
Do you have any kids?
No, sir, I got nieces and nephews.
How would you feel if somebody did this thing?
You want an honest answer?
Honest answer.
I would kill him.
Then the investigator asks Myrick about his use of cocaine.
I'm gonna tell you like it is. When I talked both times I did talk to her, you know, I was in town and I was under the influence of it.
He seems to blame the cocaine
Blame it on the cocaine.
for his current predicament. He'll be charged with drug possession, along with attempting to commit child molestation and obscene internet contact.
I'm going to set the criminal attempt child molestation
Holy shit, he looks way different with his hat off. I thought that was a different guy.
at $15,000. The possession of controlled substance, $5,000.
That's gonna be our 130. Wow. I mean, he'd be way early if that's him.
One thing that's disturbing about our investigations is that so many who show up look like nice guys, men you'd
Nice
never suspect of
guys.
possibly attempting to molest a child. Just like this man.
Open the front door, Amanda. Let's make sure he sees that you're there.
He's 34-year-old Abalash Bhaskaran,
Oh,
a
Abalash
director of
Bhaskaran.
software development for a large computer company. He thinks he's here to meet a 13-year-old girl.
Hey, come on in. Just fine. How are you? Come on. I'm just finishing up some laundry.
Take your time.
I made you some sweet tea if you want to pour a glass.
His screen name is Raj21US21. While chatting online with a decoy pretending to be 13, he asks, "Hun, would you like to take me in your mouth?" The girl says, "I'm not sure how." So
Abalash.
Raj21US21 says, "We will learn as we go along." But just as they're about to sign off,
What do you mean, we?
he tells the decoy what he's doing
Are you a virgin?
is wrong, that he has to be cautious.
Cautious? Why?
You know, sex with minor is called rape.
You don't want to have sex with me?
So I just want to make sure everything is okay. I don't want to see a cop waiting to see me there.
He seems relieved when he sees our decoy and not a police officer.
Sit down. Make yourself at home.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm just getting these out so they don't get wrinkled.
All right.
So you've got a big afternoon planned,
Oh
huh?
shit, I gotta do laundry.
You have a seat right there, please. What's going on?
Nothing much.
There were, I think, 15 episodes. They were done as specials.
I thought I'll just make a friend and that's it.
Told just to make a friend.
Yeah.
And who is the friend you were here to see?
Some.
A very special
Amy.
episode
Amy.
of To Catch a Predator.
And how old is Amy?
She said she was 13.
13.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
34.
34. And why did you think it was okay at the age of 34 to come visit a 13-year-old girl home alone?
I said, it is for sex. I'm not coming.
For sex, you are not coming.
Yeah. So I'll just make a good friend. I'm educated. I have an MBA.
You have an MBA.
Yeah. I'm
Oh, well then. If you have an MBA.
married and, the marriage is not going well. So,
I'm sorry, you're married,
yeah, yes, I am.
and the marriage is not going well.
Yeah, so I, just want a friend to talk to kind of thing.
But explain to me how difficulty in your marriage led you to this house where you believed a 13-year-old girl was home alone.
No, he said she's good in studies and
Good in studies.
I thought it is like a mature friend. Okay.
A mature friend.
Yeah.
Where were you
I thought befriending this 13-year-old girl would help fix my marriage.
when you were having this chat with this 13-year-old girl, Amy? Were you at
I was in office.
You were in your office?
Yeah.
Now, does your boss know that you are online chatting with 13-year-old girls?
I'm sure they don't.
So what would his bosses think if they read a transcript
Let's
of his
ask.
pornographic online chat?
You ask if she masturbates.
Right.
You say, I feel like kissing you now. And suck on your blank and feel the tummy.
And
Right.
feel
that is
the
first
tummy.
day. Then I, slept on that and realized it is not a good thing. It is not something which I should do.
Well, why even come over here?
No, it's it was like working for 1 year. I thought I will just take a day off and.
So you took a day off to come over here?
Yeah.
So you told them you had something else to do?
Who?
The people at your office.
Yeah. Yes. Oh.
I love you so much, hon. You talk about being cautious.
Chris Hansen's pissed about someone calling in for work for this.
She says, why?
You know, there's guys like me that depend on their staff to be reliable. You're not being reliable, Abalash.
Say, sex with a minor is called rape.
Right. I understand.
So you know the law.
Yeah, I understand the law.
Well, Avi, there's a couple things you need to know.
Yeah.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who meet teens online.
Nothing else to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Since he's never seen one of our reports, he doesn't know that law enforcement is
Ooh, here it
waiting
comes.
outside to arrest him.
Get on the ground! On the ground now! Get down!
When he's taken in for questioning, he asks to speak to a lawyer.
I'm a foreign
Smart.
national. Can I get an attorney or something?
Already.
What happens next, sir?
Now you go to jail.
Once at the
Now you go to jail. He's pissed. He's pissed that he didn't get the interview he wanted because he asked for an attorney. Now you go to jail.
Ready.
What happens next, sir?
Now you go to jail.
Once at the jailhouse, he's fingerprinted and photographed.
My wife and kids won't know where I am, so you can call and let them know.
I'll get back with you on that in just a little bit.
Then put behind bars, awaiting a hearing.
Well, you're charged with criminal attempt child molestation. That's a felony. It carries a penalty of 1 to 20 years.
How will he and all the others explain how they ended up caught in this investigation?
I've been trying to find a good woman my age.
Oh, God. The incel defense. I've been trying to find a good woman my age. I really have.
When we come back, we'll hear more from the judge, and we'll hear plenty of excuses from the suspects.
All right, let's hear these excuses.
I've never done it before.
First time I've done it right here.
I've never done this before.
When To Catch a Predator continues.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Judge Webb of the Harris County Magistrate Court.
The undercover operation in Fortson, Georgia is over, and the last of the suspects caught in our sting are appearing before a local judge.
I'm not here to determine if you're guilty or innocent.
For most of the men, the judge sets a bond of $40,000, restricts their use of a computer and their interactions
I did not need the toe shot. Thank you.
with minors, including their own children.
You're not to have any unsupervised contact with your children. Do they live with you full time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. As a condition of your bond, I'm going to permit the contact, but it needs to be supervised.
That was July. Now, only 2 suspects remain in jail unable to make bond, George Cleary and William Rowell. While just about all the men who showed up at
Man, imagine not being able to bond out when the trucker guy was able to get out.
our sting house said they weren't going to do anything illegal, none of them has had a chance to enter a plea, although this man tries to argue his case at his bond hearing.
I don't know for sure, but I hear a little bit of talk about this girl. She's an actor. She's 20 years old, actually.
The judge explains that this is not the time to submit a defense. That will be at a later hearing. And as for what excuses the other suspected sex predators might come up with, here's a reminder of what they told us.
Have you ever done this before?
No, I've never done it before.
First time I've done this right here.
First time.
Yes, sir.
I swear to you, sir, I've never done this before.
Have you ever chatted with an underage girl online?
No, I have never done it.
She's the first girl I talked to that, you know, this.
Very first one.
I mean, that young, yes, sir. I mean, honest to God.
You know how many times I hear that?
You hear it all the time, but I'm telling you, you know.
Do you think everybody could be telling me the truth?
Oh, no. I'm sure they're not.
And while many said it was their first time, a lot of them came prepared for the possibility of sex.
Did you bring condoms with you tonight?
I keep some in my Jeep.
What about condoms?
Yes, sir, I have them.
Did you bring condoms?
Yeah, I brought one, sir.
I keep condoms in the truck.
I have condoms in my car.
For what?
For safety purpose.
In the meantime,
You'd have to
we're
be
heading
stupid
west
not
to
to.
Northern California to another hidden camera house,
Oh,
this time
snap.
in Petaluma,
Petaluma.
the hometown of Polly Klaas, the young girl abducted and murdered by a sex predator. Also, one-time home of John Mark Carr, former suspect in the Jean-Benet Ramsey murder. In Petaluma,
right.
you'll see more men parade to our
Wow, just shoehorn in Jean-Benet Ramsey.
house. Some from the Silicon Valley, as well as a doctor. Most
Oh,
say
Moe.
they were not really here for sex.
Oh, man, I wasn't doing anything.
I wasn't doing anything.
In the wake of our Georgia investigation, Georgia's governor announced the state will triple the number of agents assigned to computer predator crimes.
Oh, good. It's gone from 1 to 3.
How do you and your family stay safe online? You can share your safety tips on our website.
Okay, I don't need to see the Dateline NBC safety tips. Thank you for that, Stone Phillips. All right, that's all we got for today. That is actually the end of the Forts in Georgia sting. Might be fun to move on to Petaluma, California. I know Riverside is like basically impossible to watch on YouTube for whatever reason, but I think we can get Petaluma in there. I think it'll all be copyright claimed, but as long as it's not restricted, that's not a problem. All right. If you made it this far, please give a like, a subscribe, and a comment. Until next time, I've been Jay McCain. No Rolando today. Mind, body, spirit, harmonious resonance. Be where your feet are. And, of course, as always, stay water, my friends.